The Objective News Network, the missing link in the Wuhan lab story. Hello, this is Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. Welcome to our broadcast today for August 16th, 2023. For months now, we have seen Rand Paul attacking Anthony Fauci for lying to Congress under oath about the U.S. paying for gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Virology Institute in Hubei province, China. The evidence is clear, compelling, and overwhelming that Dr. Fauci lied to Congress. But apparently, perjury before Congress is no longer that big a deal anymore. And the public's interest in the story has faded because everyone lies. Perhaps part of the reason is that the public is just so used to everyone lying up there on Capitol Hill, including mostly the politicians themselves, but also the weaponized politicians who are currently running the U.S. government. Now, we've all read and watched so many stories trying to get to the bottom of where exactly the COVID-19 virus that killed millions of people worldwide came from. But there are still more questions than answers. Questions like, was it natural animal to human transmission? Was COVID-19 developed and released by accident? Or could it have been intentionally developed by the communist Chinese as a bioweapon? Now, let's turn to the things that we really know are fact. First, the Chinese were doing gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Virology Institute. Second, the work was at least partially being funded under a U.S. research grant. Third, there is a well-documented fact that the U.S. government has a long track record of using so-called grants to fund foreign laboratories to develop bioweapons. This was done as an intelligence-sponsored workaround following President Nixon's 1969 ban on military bioweapons development in the U.S. So why then does Dr. Fauci continue to lie to Congress when he says that there was never any gain-of-function research going on at the Wuhan Institute of Virology? Most people don't lie and then solicit others to lie like this. What's so important about this entire story? What is it that Dr. Fauci and so many others are so desperate to hide from public knowledge? When we look at past government scandals, we know a couple of things for sure. One of the common denominators is that someone or an organization makes a big whopping mistake, and they feel compelled to keep it quiet. To keep things quiet, they devise a cover-up. Generally, government cover-ups involve the abuse of classification, deceit, and lying, frequently at Capitol Hill hearings while folks are under oath. So then, based on past experience, I think that all of us would agree it is safe to conclude that there is some type of cover-up going on here. But what are Dr. Fauci and others trying to hide? That's the missing link. Imagine for a moment that you run a government agency like the National Institutes of Health that is supposedly dedicated to human health and all things good, and you are at least partially responsible for developing and unleashing a bioagent like COVID-19, that kills 7 million people in the largest known pandemic ever to happen on planet Earth. If you were Dr. Fauci, would you want the entire world to know how incompetent and just plain stupid you are? No, of course not. Would you want the American people and the entire world to know that the U.S. has been violating bioweapons treaties for years, and that you, as a nation, are as completely untrustworthy as the Chinese and the Russians? No, I don't think so. The nonprofit Washington, D.C. think tank, the Institute for Complexity Management, and others have already published evidence that the U.S. State Department, the U.S. military, and the U.S. intelligence agencies have engaged in workaround bioweapons development with Russian laboratories long before the Wuhan incident occurred. So why is Senator Paul such a seemingly lonely voice in calling for the accountability of Dr. Fauci? Well, here at ONN, we have reported extensively on this story and tried to expose our own government's complicity, along with the communist Chinese and the Russians, in what really happened to create the COVID-19 pandemic. Perhaps Senator Paul would do well to look beyond Dr. Fauci if he is truly intent upon the type of accountability that will be necessary to prevent the next and perhaps even more devastating pandemic that is just waiting to happen. There are many people operating in our government that are just like Dr. Fauci. It is what it is for August 16, 2023. This is John Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. We want to thank you so much for watching, and please tell your family, friends, and colleagues about us. Our reporting here at the Objective News Network depends on you, our viewers. Also, please share our work with all of your followers. At ONN, we are working hard to get America back on track.